In this video, you're going to learn product or multiplying of fractions, mixed numbers, and whole numbers. But before we get started, take out a piece of paper and pen or pencil. And when you see a question, you can pause this video and do the workings, write down the workings and see you can get the answer. So once you're done, then unpause the video to see if your answer is correct. So we're going to get started with whole number with fraction. So, what is 3 out of 4 multiplied by 12? You can pause this video to do your workings. Alright, so let's see if you got the answer correct. Now, you can see that 3 out of 4 is a fraction and 12 is a whole number. So what we needed to do is to get our whole number into a fraction so that we can do the product of a fraction and a whole number. Once that's done, the next thing is to see which denominator has a common factor with the other numerator. Can you spot it? If you say it is 12 and 4, then you are right. So what is the common factor between 12 and 4? Simply, it is actually 4. So we're going to simplify it by having 12 divided by 4 and 4 divided by 4. And this gives us 3 out of 1 because the denominator 4 divided by 4 gives us 1 and 12 divided by 4, it gives us 3. And since we have the same denominator and also kind of the same numerator, we can multiply them. And this gives us 3 times 3 out of 1, which is 9 out of 1, which is basically a 9 whole number. And that is an easy win. All right, now we know how to do a product whole number with fraction. The next thing is we want to see how we can do a product fraction with a fraction. So the question that you can do is, what is 15 out of 7 multiplied by 14 out of 3? So you can pause this video to do your workings, and once you're done, you can unpause this video to see if you got the answer correct. So let's get started. All right, so we know that both are fractions, so we're going to put it there. And now we need to see which numerator and denominator has a common factor. If you say 15 and 3, you're right. So what is the common factor between 15 and 3? If you say, you're going to simplify, if you say 3, then you're right. So 15 divided by 3 and 3 divided by 3. And this gives us 5, since 15 divided by 3 is 5 and 3 divided by 3 is 1. Now, do you still see a denominator and numerator that has a common factor? If you say 7 and 14, then you're right. So what we can do is we can divide it by its common factor, which is 7. So we're going to simplify it, divide by 7 and divided by 7. And this will give us 5 out of 1 times 2 out of 1. And since we can multiply both of them, and this will give us 5 times 2 out of 1 times 1, which is 10 out of 1, which is 10 whole number. And that is an easy win. All right, now we know how to do a product with fractions and fractions. The last one is we want to do a product with a mixed number with a whole number. So there's this question is, what is one whole number 3 out of 8 times 4? You can pause this video, do the workings, and unpause the video once you are done to see if you got the answer correct. Okay, so we know that 4 is a whole number and 1 3 out of 8 is a mixed number. So the first thing that we need to do is to make the mixed number to an improper fraction so we can actually do this product or equation easier. So first thing first is that we always want to have the whole number multiply the denominator and have the product plus the number or numerator 3. So we look something like this, where we have 1, which is the whole number, multiply the denominator, which is 8, plus the numerator 3. And we're going to have that all out of 8. And this will give us 11 out of 8. So now we know that the mixed number 1 3 out of 8 is equal to 11 out of 8. We can then have this equation 11 out of 8 multiplied by 4. The next thing is that we want to convert our whole number into a fraction, which is 4 out of 1. Now, out of this, can you see which denominator and numerator has a common factor? If you say it is 4 and 8, you are right. So we're going to simplify it and we're going to divide by its individual common factor, which is in this case 4. So we're going to have 8 divided by 4 and 4 divided by 4. And this gives us 11 out of 2 because 8 divided by 4 is 2 And then we have 4 divided by 4, which is 1. And this gives us 11 out of 2. So the next thing is that this question also needs you to have the answer to be in mixed number. So what you need to do is you need to make sure that this improper fraction will turn into a mixed number. So what we need to do is to have 11 divided by 2. And what we can do first is that we can put the 2 as the denominator. Now the next thing is we need to know what we need to minus off. So the closest number that is a multiple of 2 to 11 is minus 10. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to minus 10, and this essentially gives us a whole number of 5. And since this 5 is a whole number, then we're going to put the 5 at the left of the fraction. And last one is that 11 minus 10 will give us a remainder 1. And since this is the remainder, that means this is the numerator for this 11 out of 2 improper fraction. And we get the answer for our mixed number 5, 1 out of 2, or 5.5. So since we are done with this, 11 out of 2 will become 5.5. And the answer is 5.5. And that is an easy win. All right. So now you know how to do the products of fraction, mixed number, and whole number. Then you can do more practices to get better at it. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you want more of this kind of videos, subscribe down below and comment down what other topics you want me to go through next. See you in the next one. Bye bye.